Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to One Piece, episode 994. We are only 6 away from the big 1000, and last time the Akazaya 9 arrived on the island, reunited with Aizo and Cat Viper, and Marco too, and the fight against Kanjuro began. While the rest of the Akazaya there were taking care of the small fries, basically. Kiku got the honor of taking on Kanjuro himself. And she tried to find the best in him. She tried to see if there was anything in him that still valued the time they spent together and the friendships they've made. But unfortunately, there wasn't. It was all an act. It was all pretend. And this pissed Kiku off, and she got like ready to fight, like full armor, just completely prepared, and that's awesome. Meanwhile, Luffy and Yamato continue to talk and eventually listen in on what's going on with Kaido and them. And everything else is just kind of chugging along at the moment. Big Mom has arrived in the main hall, lugging behind the female members of the crew, I guess you could say, even though Carrot's not technically part of the crew, that she has caught. Shinobu is the only one who got away on request from Carrot and Nami. And yeah, things are just, I wouldn't say they're going too bad right now, but they could be going better. So first off, you may notice this is on a Monday instead of Tuesday. So if you did not remember or just did not know, the schedule has been switched around starting this week. Things are just moving around a little bit in order to have it a little better sorted for my own, you could almost kind of say OCD. Just to keep things a little more organized in the schedule so that the certain types of reactions are together. Like donation award reactions are together, and currently airing stuff is set at a certain point and all. Just to keep it a little more organized for my own sake. So yeah, One Piece is now on Mondays, just one day earlier than normal. Doesn't change too much. I also apologize for the lighting in here. It's just really dark out. It's, I guess, really rainy and stormy right now. So it's like there's a lot of cloud cover. Like I have the light on and everything, but it's still pretty dark in here. There's not really much I can do about it. So we're just going to have to make it work. So I apologize ahead of time for that, because it's only 10:19 a.m. as of this moment that I'm recording this. So it's like, it should not be dark like this, but it is. And mind you, it's actually darker on camera than it is actually outside. But still. Anywho, so yeah, gonna be interesting to see where this fight with Kanjuro goes. Gonna be interesting to see where all of this goes at this moment, because right now we're not really in a, outside of the fight with Kanjuro, we're not really in a heavy action moment. A lot of the stuff has kind of slowed down, and we're just kind of like entering what could be seen as the next section of this arc, I guess. So it's just gonna depend on what happens to where we go now. Um, I'm interested though, for sure. So let's just get this going. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Well, this was a wild episode. A few big things happened. Let us start with what the episode is named after, and that is Kiku versus Kanjuro. So the fight goes pretty evenly for the most part. They're very evenly matched, and that's because Kanjuro knows Kiku's abilities. Kiku may possibly be just generally stronger than him, but because of the fact that he knows what she can do, he's able to predict her moves for the most part. And she's also holding back at first because she still is holding on to hope that he possibly is still in there and that he can still be saved. She wants to believe that so badly because she gripped so hard into this friendship between the Akazaya Nine. She relied so heavily on the relationship she had to all of them in Odin that the idea of any of them being a traitor like this, just the idea of it hurts her. So the fact that someone is, the fact that Kanjuro, who she has known for all these years, truly was proven to be a traitor, it kills her inside to even acknowledge that. So she wants to believe that it may all be an act, that the betrayal itself might be an act. But it's made painfully clear as they continue to fight that it's not. He very openly tells her again and again that no, everything else was the act, that this is who he really is. And so, despite not wanting to, Kiku does eventually have to accept this. And doing so allows her to go all out, fighting not as Okiku of the Akazaya Nine, but as Kiku Nojo of the Fallen Snow. Taking out her frustration, her sorrow, her anger on him. And this allows her to get the upper hand, taking him down, defeating him in battle. Which does still destroy her emotionally, but she knew it had to be done. And I still do not think that he's dead by any means. She may have cut him. She may have got a pretty good injury in on there. But I do not even for a second believe he's dead. He is an actor. It is literally what he does. I do not believe he is dead. Plus, it would seem a little easy, admittedly, if he was just taken out like that. Because it wasn't made to be a big deal. Him being taken out wasn't like given like this kind of grand visual or audio treatment. And usually, if a major character like this is taken out, like for good, they're going to be. Like even Orochi in this episode was given a lot more of a huge treatment to his death. Which definitely implies that he is actually dead. Like the visuals, the audio cues, everything around Orochi's death was so just huge. It was just extravagant. You like saw all the faces of all these characters just looking on in shock with the lighting as it was. You see the way it reveals that his head has been cut off by Kaido and everything. Just everything that built up to it even. It's like, yeah, it was given a lot of grandeur to it, which sells it. just perfectly well, and also adds the shocking nature of it, because it's like it's not surprising that Kaido would betray Orochi, not at all. Honestly, I feel like it could easily have been seen coming, but it's more shocking as to the fact that he actually just straight up killed him. He just sliced off his head with a sword, and openly announced later on in the episode that it's like the new shogun would be Yamato. And it's just, and Yamato, I love Yamato's reaction. It's like, excuse me? You don't tell me what to do, bitch. Yamato's great. I'm really legitimately enjoying Yamato so far. Just even ignoring the fact about, him being trans and everything. Ignoring that. The fact that he was assigned female at birth and everything and identifies as male and everything now. Ignoring that, he's a fun character so far. He's really interesting. He has personality to him for sure. We've seen when he was talking to Luffy and all, and definitely now in this episode. I like his motivations and goals, how he takes inspiration from Odin and kind of wants to be the new Odin in a way. Um, and that he has connections to Ace. That's always nice. Um, that's always a good thing. It's just I definitely am liking him so far. So I'm seeing why he's so popular amongst the fan base, and I'm really hoping to see like a lot more of him going forward, especially in action. Like we've seen a tiny bit of him in action, um, but I want to see more of what he can do in a fight. Um, so yeah, this episode had quite a bit going through it. Big Mom has arrived, bringing in Nami and Carrot, and she's just full in on this plan to turn the flower capital into new Onigashima, basically, and just turning all of Wano into new Onigashima. So Kaido's plan here, the entire reason Orochi started screaming at him, like screeching more like, and then the reason why Kaido eventually just cut his head off was because Kaido has this new plan to take all the people in the flower capital and put them into labor as well. To put them into a labor camp, making weapons as well, and turning all of Wano into a pirate empire, basically. Turning it into a lawless land where pirates flourish in order to prepare for the upcoming war that is very obviously coming. And we see that he wants to gather the weapons, the legendary weapons as well, in order to prepare for this. And it's just like he's basically he's basically doing everything he can to prepare for this war because he truly believes that this is just inevitable, that it is blatantly already set to happen, which yeah, obviously it is. We already know Oda has said that there will be a war coming up that's going to make Marineford look like, I don't know, the Romance Dawn arc. It's going to make it look like nothing. Um and it's going to be insane. Like imagine like all four emperors are in that war. That's going to be insane. Um so yeah, we got a lot of pretty interesting stuff this episode with the death of Orochi, Kiku defeating Kanjuro, Yamato losing his shit at his father trying to decide everything for him, um, and so on and so forth. It's just quite a bit in this episode, and it was a really good episode that really just surprised in a lot of ways. I really did not expect Kaido to just cut off Orochi's head like that. That really caught me off guard. Honestly, it's wild. But again, like I said in the reaction, it just goes to show you that Kaido is the true big bad of this arc. Which, yeah, obviously, we knew Orochi was just a little git the entire time. Um, But it also goes to show how dangerous he is, that he's willing to kill off his allies if they upset him or if they go against him in any way. Um, so that's interesting in and of itself, and I wonder if that's going to come into play again. If we're going to see him take out any other allies. We'll have to see. But we know that definitely separates Kaido and the Animal Kingdom pirates from Luffy and all the alliances he has right now with the Akazaya, with Law, with the Minks. It's just like, you know, that they are more in line with loyalty. Obviously, Kanjuro not included, but he's technically not part of the Akazaya anymore because of his betrayal. So, but yeah, it looks like Luffy and Yamato are about to kind of bust in and take action finally. So that's going to be fun to see, especially with how angry Yamato is at the moment. Like that was great. I loved seeing him go from like just legitimate anger to more of the cartoony anger that One Piece shows off sometimes. I really enjoyed that switch, and it was a pretty fluid transition too. I like how Luffy's like, wait, we have to go get Momo. We're running out of time, and he's like, oh, well, let's take a shortcut. And Luffy's like, yeah, okay. um, so yeah, they're about to burst through. It's like I have to feel like Kaido has to know that Yamato isn't with him, right? He has to know that Yamato does not side with him. Yet he's still trying to say that Yamato is going to be the next shogun, that he's going to be under his control and everything. Like, how does he think this is going to work out? If he knows that Yamato is siding against him in to any degree, to any way, he should know this isn't going to happen. That plan is not going to work out. Like, I'm wondering how he thinks that's going to happen. How he thinks Yamato's just going to accept being the shogun and working for him and everything and doing what he wants. Like, what? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more about that next episode, though. But yeah, it's very clear that Yamato's like, fuck that. I'm not doing what you want. I have my own plans. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where next episode takes us. It's hard to believe we're this close to episode 1000 already. That's going to be pretty big. No matter if the episode itself is like anything super hype or anything, just the fact that we will have reached episode 1000 is huge. And it's not like it's the only anime to ever reach that milestone, but still, it's such a big deal for this series because of how popular One Piece is. Just like it was a huge deal when the manga reached chapter 1000. It's just such a huge deal. It's such a huge, popular, like, worldwide series. So the fact that it's reached this height is astounding and awesome. Like, a lot of these other shows that have gotten this high aren't anywhere near as popular. They're still popular, for sure, and they still have a dedicated fan base that has allowed them to get to that heights, but they're nowhere near to the level of One Piece in terms of worldwide popularity. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see when that happens. Um, but next time we still are only at 995, so we'll get to that next week, and then we'll get to 1000 in a few weeks. So for now, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of One Piece? What did you think of Kanjuro versus Kiku, of the death of the Shogun Orochi, and of Yamato just being hilarious and awesome? And more. Tell me what you thought of this, of all I mentioned and more. And thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.